Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're continuing the Ayin. We're in Parshat Nitzavim. Parshat Nitzavim, especially when it's a double parsha, always falls out before Rosh Hashanah. Ayin is going to teach us that the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we set up the parshas, that Nitzavim should always fall out before Rosh Hashanah, because in the first pasuk there's a tremendous secret, a secret that the Ayin is going to teach us on how to get our tefillos accepted. And this is a yisoid that we've learned many times in the Ayin. This is a midah that when we access this midah, we're awakening a tremendous midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that allows us to get our tefillos accepted. Because as the Ayin is going to explain, what do we have? What are we that we can have our tefillos accepted? We didn't know what we were supposed to do. We did things that we weren't supposed to do. Yes, we did tshuva. You have to do tshuva. If you don't do tshuva the right way, as the Rambam says, so you didn't even get to first base. We have to take kabbalas. We have to promise on the future. We have to stop doing what we're not supposed to be doing. But what merit, what zchus that we have, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should listen to us? It is the yisoid that we saw by Moshe Rabbeinu, by tzaddikim, that the Ayin is going to teach us. This secret will change Rosh Hashanah. Hine ikar hadavar hamevis ha'odam, says the Ayin in Parshat Nitzavim. The main factor that allows a person to stand in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu and to daven and levakesh meito, and to ask for Kadosh Baruch Hu al bonei, that we're going to ask Kadosh Baruch Hu already. You can start asking now on bonei, on children, chaye, on life, mezonei, bayomim hanayram alalu, on all these important days. Who we all need this stuff. How can we stand and ask Kadosh Baruch Hu? Who al yedei? The only way you could do it, and this is the secret, is bechinas anova amitis. The yisoid that the Ayin teaches us throughout his sefer. The right anova, the proper anova. A person should be an anov, and we're going to see what exactly that means in a second. Hainu kishem izboinen besichloi shiflus atzmai. When he understands that in reality he's nothing. And how can I stand if I'm nothing in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu? Who am I that I can stand in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu? It's true that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us Rosh Hashanah to ask needs from him, and it's true that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us Elul, that we should ask for forgiveness and do tshuva and esesime tshuva. But ultimately, we have to understand that even with all that, we are nothing. Without Hashem, we have nothing. Rak ayideshu erech apayim after rishoyim. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a midah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, "I am erech apayim even to rishoyim." And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we come to you, we have nothing. The only reason that we can ask you is because you are erech apayim. And Memel, if you are erech apayim, which means you are slow to get angry at us. Yes, we did Averis, and our tshuva is not a real tshuva, and the mitzvahs that we do are not on the right way, and you have the right to get upset at us. But Lamaisa, you are erech apayim. So if you're not slow to anger, then it doesn't fit. So Memela, by you being erech apayim, you being chesed, you being chanun, you activate that midah. And that enables us sheyuchal la'amid ulevakesh al nafsha mi'abare lamas. Baruch Hu says, how can I give you what you want? You did this year, you did this year, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Okay, yes, you're right. You did tshuva. But lamaisa, how could you do it? But we understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us a bracha for what we need, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is erech apayim. We don't deserve anything, right? We come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I did this, I did that, I did this. We don't want to do that. We always ask for matnas chinam. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu starts looking at us, well, you did this because of that, and you did that, or you already didn't do this. Nobody wants anybody to check them out. The reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is erech apayim is because anova. Shetevas anova gematria apayim. The teva of anova is the same gematria as apayim. So when we are anivas, we come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have nothing to offer you. We know where we stand. We're doing tshuva. We want to improve. And yes, we said the same thing last year, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you erech apayim, that activates that midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Meram sh'ayideshem izbonishem mitzad ma'asav eini roi l'klum, yesh lo goydel busha v'achna afilu l'ftach pi levakesh. How many times HaKadosh Baruch Hu did I ask you? How many times did I come and I say I'll be better? I'm embarrassed to even ask you again. You helped me last week, and you helped me the week before, and I need help again, right? Imagine you come to a person, you asked him for money, to lend you money, and he lent you money, and you paid him back, and now you want to borrow it again, and again, and sometimes you didn't pay him when you said you will pay him. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. How could you come to me again and ask me for money when I had to chase you? Or when I already gave you last week, and now you're asking me for more? Yeah, because we understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Erech HaPayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't get angry. And we can ask again and again and again and again because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is slow to anger. If we understand that we can't even open up our mouths to ask Hashem, Zehu Hagor Lemidas Erech HaPayim. And that will cause HaKadosh Baruch Hu to say, you know what, I'm not getting angry at you now, and I'm going to help you out. Sheshem Yisbarach March Loi Apay Umashpil Loi Le'es Ato Chesed V'Rachamim Mimkar Chesed. And because Hashem is not angry, Hashem allows the midah of Chesed to give you, to do Chesed with you. Right? At Shezoich L'Tshuva Amitis. Because in reality, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, no problem. When you do real tshuva, I'll help you out. Right? You took a kapala upon yourself to learn this. When you finish learning it, come to me, then we'll talk. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no, I'm not going to get angry. I have another midah called Chesed, which without it we can't survive. I'm going to do Chesed with you. I'm going to do kindness with you, even though you don't deserve it. I'm not going to wait until you finish your Kabbalahs, until I see that you're improving. And the Basayin teaches us that this is hinted in the shir that we say twice a day, L'Dover Hashem Ayri. In the Kapitel Tehillim of L'Dover Hashem Ayri, Yeshua Yud Gim Upam Shema Etzem Baruch Hu. We say it because in Kapitel Chav Zayin, L'Dover Hashem, it says the word Hashem 13 times. Each one corresponds to another of the Yud Gimel Midos of Hashem. And we say it in order to activate throughout the Yemei HaRachamim the 13 Midos of Hashem, right? When we have Yom Kippur, when we have a Tainus, when we do Slichas, we always say Hashem, Hashem, because Kadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, when you say Hashem, Hashem, and you do Hashem, Hashem, when you do these things, I will ignore my anger against you. They do not come back empty. And that's why we say L'Dover Hashem, to access those 13 names of Hashem, which corresponds to 13 names of the Yud Gimel Midos. V'shem echamishi mimizmah hanal, and the fifth time it says Hashem's name in L'Dover Hashem, says B'noyam Hashem. And that's meramis to the fifth midah of Midas Erech HaPayim. Shebezeh HaBechina, through that, we can now stand in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu, because otherwise Hashem will be angry at us. I understand you were here last year, the year before. You know what you did last week? You know what you did 2 weeks ago? Right? Okay, you did tshuva, no problem. Let's see you do tshuva. Come back to me in 6 months from now. Hashem says, no, I'm not going to get angry now, and I will allow the Midas HaChesed to be activated and to send to you. And that's hinted in the word Atem Nitzavim Hayom. How are you standing today? Today is Rosh Hashanah, because you have the understanding that you are Novim. And Memela, if you are Onov and you're shiftless, you say, I don't deserve to stand in front of you, Hashem. I don't deserve to ask from you anything. Everything you gave me is because of your chesed, and I asked you last week, and I asked you yesterday, and the day before, and I know I'm going to ask you next week again. But when we understand that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu activates, and we activate the Midas Erech HaPayim, which allows us to activate Midas HaChesed, and through that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows us to stand in front of Him. And in this pasuk, which is the day that we stand in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? If we stand with this idea of shiftless, says the Ayin, we will be able to access all the bakashas that we need. We will be able to get our tilas answered, berachamim, bechesed, and memela we will be zoicha to have a git gebenchion. Amen. Ken Yiratzon.